Yeah, so good afternoon, everybody, and a warm formal welcome to all of you. My name is Yogesh Agiwal from Crossroad Leadership Journeys. I know many of you, I have met you or I have worked with you. So, for those who are meeting for the first time, I am not a trainer from the beginning. I am an IT person. I was a computer engineer. Did IT for a very long time. I started my career way back in '87 in Mahindra and Mahindra's manufacturing IT site. So I was building IT, programs, application, on the manufacturing side, and then went to US, came back to India, joined Wipro, where I was there for a very long stint. I was there for close to 15 years, and during that period, I had got the award from Azim Premji called the Best People Manager Award. This was given to very few people out of a huge number of people, but at the end of the award ceremony, we were asked to go and speak about our leadership and why did we get the award to a lot of businesses. So I started going and speaking in the leadership program, and I spoke so much that one day our head of HR said that why don't you move into the leadership department, and that is where my journey started. So I moved formally into the leadership department within Wipro in 2009. And then in 2015, I saw that in India, especially if you look at, say, mid-sized companies, which are, say, less than 5,000 employees, many of them really don't have much choice in a structured leadership development. So they may not want to invest so much that an international brand would offer. And then there are facilitators who do like individual sessions. So while the facilitator could do, good in his own capacity as an individual, but human transformation does not happen, overnight. It needs a longer, sustained journey, which the individual facilitator cannot. So where do these companies go? So I thought this is a fantastic white space that I think we can serve a lot of clients. And with that intention, we started. This would be, I think, our 10th year. So we would be completing 10 years, and we have really specialized, mastered this whole idea of longer intervention. And what I will do now is I'll play a nice 3 minutes video, that will give you a good idea of the work that we do, and then we'll jump on into the session. We have been doing this, webinar for last, 4 years now. So we have done, I think, I'll just show you that we have done some, I think, 24, these are 24th webinar. Share the screen for you guys. So if you go and see here. So if you see here, if you go inside this, you will first find all the past webinars here. So you can sign the webinars here. We have tried to upload as many because initially we were not recording the webinars, so we missed out on them. But there are quite a good number of webinars which are like really going to help you, like the webinar on sales. We have also invited some of the very renowned consultants on our webinars. So we had Ramesh who spoke about how do you build your sales engine. We had Nisha coming and talking about networking. We had Ravi Chatterjee talking about conversation intelligence. So you can find a lot of good, very actionable, webinars here listed here. And as I was saying that we really work on like the longer approach. So you can see on this screen, that we look at the mindset of people. So when people hire from all over the country, everybody comes with their own mindset, and there is a definitely an hybrid culture that gets created, and you still get certain result. But when we work on the intervention, we look at the mindset, bring in some alignment, and get your goal-oriented result. So I'll quickly play the video so you will get an idea in 3 minutes, and then we'll jump on to today's session. So let me just play the video for all of you.
Established in 2016, Crossover Leadership Journeys embodies the transformative vision of Yogesh Agiwal, who found developing leaders as his natural quality during his illustrious career in corporate world across the globe. After his recognition by Azim Premji 2 times at Wipro, he moved into the Leadership Development Department of Wipro. He continued to go deeper in his leadership development pursuit and was invited to speak at many international forums, including the Speaker for India at Harvard Business Publishing School Partner Conference, meeting Ken Blanchard, Peter Seng, Nitin Noria, and scores of other leadership coaches. Authors helped him bring world-class leadership practices to India. After creating the impact at Wipro, he decided to create a bigger impact and started Crossover Leadership Journeys in 2016 with a clear vision of holistic leadership development with world-class content, mentoring and initiatives aligned with business outcomes. Every organization is made of people and everyone comes with their own experiences and mindset, which creates a hybrid culture. Crossover starts with working on the mindset of people, their immunities to change, and bring an alignment in their thinking. Once the people are aligned, the focus is shifted to customers, talent, and execution using the Custex ecosystem. This ecosystem guides in addressing the unique needs of customers, developing talent to meet customer needs, and executing the project with various elements like offsites, facilitator-led sessions, supervisor involvement, 360-degree assessment, and a strong psychological base. Custex ecosystem is brought to life with our leadership development framework, grounded in empirical research and industry best practices. Our leadership development framework encompasses multifaceted dimensions: self, team, operational, and organizational leadership across the entire organization from level 0 to level 3. There are 4 flagship programs for respective levels, which are customized to suit the unique requirement of our customer organization, catering to the diverse needs of respective levels, covering the entire organization, with topics and competencies for respective levels. The rigor of leadership development does not stop at the journey of leadership, but it continues with our unique initiative called Riyaz. There are many ways of doing Riyaz, like using book reviews or leadership videos or leadership fireside chat. Crossover's unwavering commitment to excellence in leadership development has resonated with organizations across the globe. With a track record of delivering transformative results, we have forged enduring partnerships with over 200 clients, spanning diverse industries and geographies. Join us at Crossover Leadership Journeys and embark on a transformative journey of personalized leadership development tailored to your organization's unique needs. Together, let's work on the landscape of leadership for the ever-changing world and drive unparalleled success and growth in your industry.
Yeah, so hope you found the video useful. You can take a look at it whenever you get a chance. The website is very, very holistic. In fact, don't have any corporate presentation anymore. We usually use the website to show the work that we do. And post this webinar today, we are going to also offer you a 1 month support, which means that there will be a mentor who would be sending you articles, who will be sending you videos related to EI. And if you have any question, you can ask, the mentor to answer for you. Or if you want to speak to me, you can also tell the mentor and I'll connect with you on a call. We call that as a leadership chaska. Chaska in Hindi means practice in attraction or addiction. But here it means it's a full form of an acronym called Crossover Hosted Association of Skills and Knowledge Advancement. So, थोड़ा creative तरीका है, but we are not really a formally registered association, but it's a nice way to continue to be available to all of you. You can see that we have almost 66 people joining, and a lot of people have been coming to our webinar almost every month. Spreading they like the value that we create. So in that group, you will get the information that when is the next webinar, so you don't miss out. That's the whole idea. Yeah. So let's jump on. So I have like kept you guys, want to ask me anything, please raise your hand so I would know and then I will unmute all of you. But there will be times when I will unmute in between also so that we can have conversation. But for most part, I will keep it muted so that there is no background disturbance. So let's jump on to this topic, on EI, and this is one of my favorite topics that you have seen. A lot of people have been coming again and again. So, like Padma said, that every time he comes to this session, there is something that new you find about yourself. So there is nothing unique about my session, but I think as you keep changing in your own lives, you start seeing that that change helps you to reflect on what the framework is. Yeah. And so this must be my 382nd session, I think. So it's been many, many sessions that I have done over the years. So glad to, do this session for all of you today. If I were to look at the history of AI, it is not nothing new as such. It has been there for a very long time, but it became popular in 1990s when Daniel Goleman, who is like the father of AI, was doing a research saying that the people who are good at their academics, let's see how they are in their real life. And he saw that a lot of people were okay, they were not as successful in their lives. And then Daniel Goleman said that let me look at people who have not been so great in their academic, and he saw that those people were amazingly successful. So he thought that what is the difference, and that is where he found that those people who were actually able to manage themselves really well were amazingly successful. So when you look at this slide, for example, I want to show you this slide which kind of talks about this whole journey of AI. So I'll just unhide the slide and show it to you that this was the journey that the research that did it in 1990s, and he found that those people who were very good at in their real life were extremely successful in what they were. So let me share the screen for you. So they were very successful in their personal and professional life. So what was they? How was they so successful? And he realized that those people were able to manage themselves really very well. They were able to manage setbacks very well. They were able to handle the teams very well. They were able to inspire people, and that is where he wrote this book called Emotional Intelligence. And while Daniel Goleman has been very popular as a author on this topic, but there are many other people who have done immense contribution, including Salovey, Mayers, Richard Boyd, Annie McKay, Antonio Damasio. And personally, I have been, very interested in this topic. So I have actually done a lot of, reading about all of these research. So if you look at Richard Boyd brings in EI from a corporate leadership perspective quite a bit. Annie McKay brings EI from an empathy perspective. Antonio Damasio brings in more from a neuroscience and medical perspective. So when you look at what I'm going to do for you guys today, it's a combination of many things. I brought in what Daniel Goleman said, what Annie McKay said, and then it is nice fusion of all the research coming together in a very very storytelling way. So I will introduce a character called Geeta. And if you have seen any of my previous program, you will see Geeta has been continuing the character for so many years. So we will start her life from when she was 8 year old, and then we'll go till I think 26, 27. Today I did a program for one of our clients, and I got Geeta to go up to 50 today because now Geeta had children, and we went to that level. But today we'll go till 26 years of age that we have. So as we begin the journey, I want you all to do a small, short exercise on your workbook or on your notepad or on your mobile if you like to write. I want you all to answer this four questions. The best thing about me. What do you think? Like for example, for me, the best thing is I'm very disciplined. I am like if you tell me that there is a session at 10 o'clock, I'll be there by 9:15 itself. For today's webinar, I was here by 3:30, so I log in very early. So I'm very disciplined. My major area of improvement, you can be very, very candid and very, very authentic about it because I want you all to take back something that you can solve in your own life. So if you have an issue with anger, if you have an issue with some relationship, if you have an issue with procrastination, I mean, you can decide whatever is the major area of improvement. I really feel good about myself when are those moments when I feel really good about myself, and when do I really feel low about life, so when are those moments? um, I mean, there are times when you might not feel really low regularly, no problem, and we don't want you to feel that way, but like it comes like a combo for us, happiness and sorrow and joy come together with us as human beings. So think about it. I'll give you uh, say about 5 minutes. I know if it was a full day session, we would have spent more time, but I want you all to take 5 minutes to write down, and I will want like maybe one or two people to share with me, and I will then start processing, the thinking around that, and that is how I'll bring in some of the elements of EI in the conversation, and then proceed. So take 5 minutes. You can read this question and answer in your own book, and you can volunteer to come on, and I'll make you unmuted, and then you can ask me, you can share the response. Yeah. So I'll give you 5 minutes. And others can also turn on the cameras. I know a lot of people are on, but those who are not, I think it would be a good idea to keep the cameras on. But if I were in your room as a in-person session, I would have moved around to see how you guys are doing. So at least when your camera is on, I can see whether you guys are sincerely filling the questions or not. Anvesh, Monica, Krishna, Namrata, you can keep your cameras on. Yeah, Soumya.
So your volume is a little low.
Oh, volume is low, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Is it still low or same?
yeah, same. Can you increase the volume from your end?
Oh, okay. Just a second. Yeah. It's better now?
Yeah, better. Yes.
Put wala the same issue that we faced, it went down actually. So I pulled it up now. It should be all right
Yes,
now.
much better.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. So I hope people were able to listen, but it was difficult, no? I think. Yeah. Yeah. Lena, thank you for giving a thumbs up for writing that. So I'm going to unshare the screen now in case you want to know, make a note of the question, you can do it, and I'm going to unshare it. And I would request, who would like to, volunteer to share what you have written. And as we will, we will follow. Yeah, Radha is, Radha, thank you so much. So can we clap for Radha? I'll show you the virtual clap now. Okay, this is like the virtual clap. Yeah. Yeah, because Anshu, we don't do this regular clap because by the time Anshu unmutes and claps, and by the time Lokesh does that, there is a big rhythmic gap. So this is fantastic. So you can do this thing. Yeah. So yeah, Radha, please. And we'll follow the Las Vegas rule. All of you must be familiar that in Las Vegas you can do a lot of stuff like gambling, drinking, all that, and you don't want to tell that to your parents when you come back. So what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. what happens in the class stays in the class, which means we'll not tell after that. That's where Radha has a problem with whatever, whoever at your workplace. Yeah. So please, Radha, thank you so much. Please, you can unmute yourself, and or I think let me try to allow you to unmute. Yeah, yeah, you can now unmute yourself. Yeah,
Thank you so much for this
sure,
wonderful opportunity. I hope
sure.
I'm audible.
Yes, yes, very much, very much.
Okay, this is my first ever meeting virtually with this many people and speaking in front of everyone.
Okay.
So I will start with my best thing about me is resilience and continuous learning.
Yeah.
And then my major area of improvement is I cannot speak with my face video on with anybody. I
Yeah.
am too hesitant to speak in front of crowd. I am an introvert, and basically I messed up one big event recently because of unable to speak in front of people. I'm a trainer by myself. I can speak in front
Yeah.
of 300 students, but
Yeah.
cannot speak in front of one person whom I feel that they are more educated or more important to me. I cannot speak with them.
So Radha, do you know Gita story? Yeah, because this is exactly
So,
Gita story that is
details.
coming up.
Pardon?
No, Gita story is coming up. It is exactly the same story, but no problem. Yeah. So Radha, this is not just, I mean, you, even today after doing so many sessions for so many, I was telling the, team today only, in the morning that, like after doing almost so many sessions, there is still an anxiety there, every day when we, try to do. So it is very normal. What we will do is when we, see the way, we handle this, so we'll introduce you to certain, say, concepts today, like the neuroscience of brain, what is limbic system, what is prefrontal cortex, and this awareness will help you to start changing slowly. Okay, and our mind or brain is responsive to intentional practice, which means that if I intentionally practice and know that, oh, there is this issue that I get fearful, my heart start beating, I get a dry throat, all kinds of issues happen to me, is good. Meaning you have started to become aware. And in that awareness, how do you connect? We will talk about it, so as we go along in the journey. So thank you so much. I think Radha, yeah, Radha. So third, uh, when
I really feel good about myself is I'm empathetic, not just by words. I'm truly empathetic with anybody that connects with me. I have seen many people, they say that I'm empathetic. They talk to you for one time, two times, but the third time that you start talking to them, they start avoiding you. They just do by words, but I'm not like that.
very nice.
I start being empathetic with any person. I will really, if I'm uncomfortable, I will let them understand that I'm uncomfortable, but yet I will still be empathetic with them. So that's
Lovely, very
very
nice.
good that I feel about myself.
Very nice. Very
And
nice.
I really feel low when I compare. I had a very huge break and I started with smaller companies and I do not get exposure. So I have struggled a lot. When I see people with same experience into a bigger roles like a head HR, I am about 18 years experience.
Yes.
Unofficially, but officially I'm just 12 years experience.
Okay.
So with this
Okay.
all loss and all, I just feel that I'm lagging so many things, everything. So certain times when I feel that, I feel low, but again, I can come back.
Very nice.
That's again a good thing.
So very nice, Radha. Thank you for sharing so nicely in front of everybody and being so vulnerable.
And this is a
So,
conscious effort that I am making for myself that I
yeah.
wanted to open up in front of people.
Lovely, very nice. Thank you so much. So, I think maybe what will happen, yeah, I think we can clap for what will happen rather is that today maybe you're taking like maybe 3 days to come back as an example. When we start doing, and I'm going to also request you to watch a video at the end of the session by Guy Winch, you can reduce that responsive time, the bounce back time. So you might come down from 3 days to say 2 days, and 2 days to 1 day, and 1 day to 3 hours, and at some point you'll say, okay, this happened, I'm back. Yeah. So that is the practice we will start doing as we go along. Yeah. I see a lot of hands going up, but I am only worried that we have just 90 minutes. So Paco, I know you are our champion, you are yourself a trainer, so should I give the chance to Ashima or Lokesh? Yeah. Yeah. So Yeah,
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
yeah. So Ashima, if you're not a trainer, you could actually. Meaning, I want to also get, because trainers usually get an exposure, they get a chance. So Ashima, if you want to share, yeah,
Yeah, of course, I'd love to.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, your voice was cracking, so I missed a bit. So on the four questions, the best thing about me, I am creative, I am a go-getter, and I am an out-of-the-box thinker. My major area of improvement, I sometimes expect that people will perform at the same level that I am, and that might generally not be the case. So the fact that you have to align with every person being different and the manner of presenting being different, I think that is something that I have to do consciously. I really feel good about myself when tasks go as planned, when I'm able to achieve more, when I get what I set my mind to. So that definitely gives a lot of happiness. And I really feel low about life. Well, this is more to do on the personal front. This is, close relatives, family, somebody's not doing well, health. These could be certain conditions that probably affect the mood. Thank you.
Very nice. Yeah, can we clap for Ashima? So on the third part, when you feel nice about it, there are four chemicals that I want you all to make a note of it, which is dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Yeah, so these are four chemicals which are there, which is like at no cost you can generate it yourself. So I want to take some promises from all of you today. So those who guys are not exercising today, not as a routine, I want you all to give me a promise you have in your locality and pay the longest membership. Okay, and send the receipt on the WhatsApp Chaska group. And once and don't talk to anybody at the family, like, you're going to the gym and you're going to pay all that amount. Don't discuss with anybody. When you come back from the gym, okay, after paying that money, again, don't talk to anybody. Go to Amazon.com and or Amazon.in and then buy the Skechers shoes. So these are one of the most expensive shoes that you can buy from Amazon. Buy that shoes and again, don't talk to anybody. And then buy the night gear or whatever, that you can use to go to the gym. And then maybe you can talk at the night. Yeah. So today GDP should go up wherever you're logging from. The reason you should do exercise is that when I put in the routine, right, I'm going for a routine of exercise, dopamine gets secreted when you finish the exercise routine. Endorphins get secreted when you're doing. So our body has a direct, like our body is like autonomous, which means that the body will secrete cortisol. So when Ashima is feeling low or, there is something that is not going as per our plan, the body's response is cortisol. If I exercise, then the body negates the cortisol. So whatever, so that's why I said that you should do at least 4 times a week, and it doesn't matter what you like. You can do walking, jogging, swimming, whatever you like, but 45 minutes of non-stop physical activity 4 times a week should happen because your body, you can't stop generating cortisol. And the more senior you become, like when Radha thinks about the people who have been successful, body has a response to that. Yeah, our body and mind are not two different things. It is connected. Yeah. So if we don't put in a routine, this is what will happen. So this is my promise from all of you that you guys should start doing. And everybody at Crossover, we make them practice whatever we teach. I do that myself, and I have seen this benefit for so many years that we do. Yeah. So Lokesh, I think one more, Nishit, I know you all, I am very excited that people are raising their hands, but I really have a lot to cover. So I will just go last with Lokesh. And as I said on Leadership Chaska group, Nandini, more than welcome to ping the mentor. I'll get on a call and process that what you are saying. But I would think that in my session will cover. Yeah. So yeah, Lokesh.
I would love to do that, Yogesh.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sure. Yeah, Lokesh, please.
And thank you.
Yeah.
This thing about me, my general value systems in life, I believe.
Right.
My major area of improvement, taking more action instead of thinking, planning, wondering, maybe procrastinating. I really feel good about myself when I'm occupied, making a difference by prioritizing others over me. Fourth, I feel really low about life when emotional differences with closed ones. So yeah, not even close one, people that I really like, or I mean, they might not be even known to me, but yeah, when that happens, it really upsets me and puts me down.
So, Lokesh, what will happen after this webinar is that, see, today, there is a certain experience that we carry and we bring in that experience in the conversation. Many times we are so invested in our experience and our thinking that we almost decide that the other person is absolutely what he's saying is not rational or whatever. Yeah. And you can't help that. That's how we are built. Okay. But in the process, and I'm like one of the parts of the brain is called as amygdala, which is basically, scanning for threat. Okay, so a difference of view is also a threat. I mean, I talk about it as we go along in the journey. So, have you like experienced that when you don't, really have a difference of opinion, you sometimes become very sarcastic and sometimes you use a loud voice, and then after 2 hours you realize, yeah, itna nahi karna tha. It was okay to maybe listen to the person, whatever. Yeah. So because the amygdala, and I'll talk about it in more detail. Now, this part of the brain can be nicely trained. Okay, you can't remove the part of the brain because it has a function of really helping you when there is a natural, real calamity. But that brain does not understand that difference of view is also a calamity for him. So that's why we start becoming sarcastic. We start becoming loud voice. Yeah. So I'll take on from here, and I think Paco, Nandini, whoever had raised the hand, I will be more than glad to continue. So as you will see that we will cover. I know I will do little rapid Rajdhani Express Vande Bharat type session, but more than welcome to do a more longer session for your team. So we will look at how we can basically understand the emotions of our team. What is the neuroscience of our brain? Right side processing versus left side processing is a concept that we will introduce to you guys as we go along. We'll train the amygdala to manage anger and conflict situation that comes in our mind, and then manage perceptions and empathy really better. Yeah. So if you see, there are many benefits of doing EI. So those who have got high EI, you can see that they become quite aware of their state. So Lokesh, for example, when you start more practicing this, you will, even before you sometimes get upset, you will start getting to recognize, yeah, वो direction में जा रहा हूँ मैं. So even now you must be, but you become more and more granular about it. You have enough patience to get the success. You try to understand emotions of others. You fine tune your emotion based on what you're seeing that is happening. And I have seen them so many times that when I go to a client side, like I'm in Kochi today, and maybe I was supposed to meet the head of HR, and I go and meet him, and then the person has given me X amount of time. But the moment I meet him, I start seeing that he is not in his regular mood. There is something happening in his company. So in those moments, if I ask the other person that is everything all right, I could see that you're not what you are. And then suddenly they start connecting with you in more deeper way because they start realizing, oh, this person really knows me and understands me. So there are many, many benefits of that. I want to give you guys this definition on the screen, and I want you all to tell me what this definition tells you, meaning what stands out for you. And anybody can unmute and maybe share with me what do you think this definition tells you. And this was a definition in like long time back, but still stands true really for today also. Yeah. What is standing out for you as you see the definition?
Okay, so Yogesh, I feel that emotional intelligence is something where we have that sort of understanding where we can understand the other person's emotional mindset, what he or she is
Yes.
going through, and we have the capability to read between the lines, not just
Yes.
actually understand what the other person is just saying, but actually read between the lines, understand what he's not actually saying to us, but what he's
Sure.
going through, what he's thinking.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think I could see some more hands. Please, you can now. I think you can unmute and share. No problem.
Yeah,
Very
Yogesh, Brian here.
Yeah, Brian.
For me, the word capacity stands out. As I just understood, no, I am now getting into exercise mode more regularly, like you said.
Yes.
Realize that I have not built up my lung capacity for breathing. I have
Very
the
nice.
capability to do that.
Very nice.
Similarly, I feel emotional intelligence, emotional quotient may we have immense capability. It
Lovely.
has not been tapped. Thank you.
Very nice. Super. Lovely, Brian. Yeah.
Hi,
Anybody
I
else?
I
Yeah.
could go next.
Yeah, please.
So I think for me, what stands out is how we talk about emotional intelligence being complementary to academic intelligence. So we're not trying to say that, intelligence, academic intelligence is not important, or
Yes, yes,
being
yes.
good at your work is not important. But this is
Mm.
something that rather complements and adds an additional layer to, make you better at what you're doing.
Very nice. Very, very, very apt, Diana. And I'm also seeing that, in this definition, we are using this term, emotion and feeling, interchangeably, or even in our language, sometimes we use that. So, any thoughts on what is emotion and what is feeling?
So feeling is what I feel. So it's
Yeah.
so I feel cold, I feel warm, and I feel
Okay.
hot. Emotion is the response, and I'm not using the word reaction. I'm using the word response to that feeling.
Mm.
So when it comes to so the way that I look at this, Yogesh, is that it
Yeah.
talks a lot about empathy, all right,
Yeah.
and how it is different from sympathy, and going to that extent that the empathy goes to the next level of being
Mm.
compassionate. So
Mm.
it's all about not only just feeling the emotion, but
Yeah.
that emotion is a response to a feeling, and I'm able to feel along with. So, like,
Mm.
I mean, pardon my saying so, but a lot of parents feel the cold as their child would feel. That's a different issue
Mm.
as to what
Mm.
motivates that. But to be able to feel is the next level. So
Mm.
being able to equate the emotion is what is empathy, the way that I look at it.
Mm.
But the point that when you are able to equate and feel the feeling itself, right,
Mm.
is what I believe is being compassionate. And
Okay.
emotional intelligence has got a direct link there. That is what I have always felt. Right, wrong.
Sure, sure, sure. No problem. So, what happens, Paco, is that what you shared that you first feel and then emotion. There is a lot of people have this dilemma or confusion about what is feeling first comes, or does it emotion comes. So there are like many variations that is there in the science. But what we have found is Antonio Damasio has done a very beautiful clarity on this, and he says that I think emotion has a biological existence, which means that I experience emotion first, and then based on what do I experience, I could actually convert that into a feeling. So, for example, say Paco is my childhood friend, and I meet you in Bangalore, and I'm standing looking at the other side, and you have this habit of coming and pushing from the back from my childhood, right? Now, the moment you push me from the back, there is an emotion, either could be like scared that somebody, who is this who is pushing me, or it could be mad that, how can somebody push me like this? But the moment I start, processing that emotion to say that, oh, this must be Paco, uska aadat to gaya nahi hai. Suddenly the same emotion changes to maybe glad that I am meeting Paco for a long time. So, we will now nicely try to understand this as we go along. So we will also look at little bit of what is limbic system, what is rational brain, how our past experience has an impact on our current behavior, our automatic stories. So our mind never stops, creating stories. So maybe when you guys came into this webinar, you thought पता नहीं है एआई में क्या होता है इतना फजी टॉपिक है बट नाउ मे बी एज यू आर listening to me, maybe something is getting connected, or it could be. So our mind never stops. There is no connection with reality many a times. So let's start with first the difference between emotion and feeling. So I will take you through a very nice story for another 5 to 7 minutes, and I will ask you guys to think about this. I'll talk about the emotions and feeling difference very nicely. And once after that 7 minutes, I'm going to unshare it. And I request you all to keep your cameras on. So for another 5 to 7 minutes, I'm going to go solo. So Deepika, I'm able to, like, my voice is clear now.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
no problem. Okay, perfect. So after the 5, 7 minutes, I will take a pause. Okay, and the pause can be little longer also. So ऐसा tension मत लेना कि suddenly क्या हो गया. It's part of the design. Okay, which means that is the cognitive shift that would happen if you start thinking about it. Yeah. Uh, so be with me solo for another 5, 7 minutes. So all of us are born with four emotions, okay, and there are more, but I'm talking only about four which are prominent in our lives, okay, and that is what the crossover EI session and many of the other EI sessions, there is a difference that we don't go so much into the detailing of the vocabulary of emotions. If I tell you there are like 54 intensity, there are 28. I mean, you like the data, you like the information, but what will you do? It's very difficult for a layman to go back and practice EI. So what I'm going to do is very easy for you to practice. It's more relevant and it's more prominent in your life. Yeah. So we are all born with four emotions: sad, glad, mad, and scared. Yeah. So these are the four emotions. Very nice to remember also: sad, glad, mad, and scared. So if you look at a small child, right, and say 6 months old, whether he is in Kochi, he is in Germany, he is in Maharashtra, Mumbai, Pune, Sangli, Satara, wherever, you will see the same emotional response of a child. So if you play with the child, he'll become very glad, yeah. If nobody is around him, he'll become sad or he'll become scared. If he is very hungry, he'll become mad. Yeah. So if you look at any child, irrespective of geography, same response you will find. As we start, getting older, so up to the age of 12 years is where, usually a lot of our response to the emotion starts getting manifested as a part of feeling, meaning it gets processed into feeling. So if you look at Geeta, she's 8 year old, and she is been invited to say a poem in her school. Okay, and she is based in. So I'm in Kochi today. I'm just using Kochi as a city where she is there, and it's 26th January, and everybody's super excited about Geeta going to say the poem in the school. So dad also kind of by hearts the poem every day. Mom got the frilka frock. A lot of moms have those fascination for those frill frocks. So she got the frill frock, and all the relatives are invited from Trivandrum, Kolam, all the places, and everybody is super excited on that day. And they have by hearted the so poem that even when they are going in the car, to the school, they are by hearting. Yeah. It is 10 o'clock in the morning, and the curtain is closed. And behind the curtain is Geeta standing. And as the curtain opens, Geeta sees a huge audience in the conference or in the auditorium. And she gets a little nervous and forgets the first line of the poem. So those who have in your life by hearted, right? First line, if you forget, you can't remember any of the poem. So she's trying to recall, but the more she's trying to recall, the more she cannot. And she looks at the auditorium, and everybody looking at her. People are there, Geeta Bolo, and like relatives are telling, boss, we came all the way from Kovalam, from Trivandrum, you're not saying the poem. Teachers are looking at it, students are looking at her. And I don't know about today's mom, but that time, mom gave a stare that she got to an idea कि घर पे जाके क्या होने वाला है. बहुत पिटाई होने वाली. So she gets more scared about this whole experience. She's just not able to say the poem. So after 5 to 7 minutes, she decides to not say the poem and comes out of the stage. On that day, she makes a very big decision that आज के बाद, from today, I will not go on the stage. I will not go in front of large crowd. And fast forward her life to, she is now 26-year-old, and she joins crossover leadership journeys. And every time I tell Geeta that, hey Geeta, tomorrow there is a new customer coming in. I think Deepika has arranged for the call. Can you do the presentation? She will tell me that tomorrow I have doctor's appointment, or my mother is not well, or my grandmother passed away. So every time I tell her, वो ही reason देती है कि I have doctor's appointment, my mother is not well, or my grandmother passed away. So this is like, I got to know that this is 3 reasons that people give in any job when they don't want to take up any assignment. So one day I asked her कि कितना grandmother है, like, so we are a joint family, so एक के बाद एक जाते रहते हैं फिर, yeah? So what is happening if you see this particular picture? Here you can see the limbic system. Okay, and here you can see the prefrontal cortex. So limbic system is the place where we have the seat of our emotions and feeling. Okay, so and it also has our experiences of the past. So when say Geeta is responding to Yogesh, and the limbic system experience that I can never go in front of the public, that kicks in. So she, like the body's response to that is shutting down, body secreting a lot of cortisol. There is no option that she is able to see. But now, when she is trying to pause here, meaning she is trying to experience, 3 of the 4 emotion, she can actually connect to the prefrontal cortex. When she connects to the prefrontal cortex, we are calling that as right side processing of emotion. So she can tell Yogesh that, hey, Yogesh, I generally, find it very difficult to go in front of people. So can you start the presentation and then I will take off in between? Or, I will go and join, I know Padma, is a very big Toastmaster district, club person. So let me talk to Padma and try and join Toastmasters club. Or maybe I can do some, sessions for my college alumni so that, I get familiar with presenting. So the body is secreting a lot of endorphins. There are a lot of options that are going through. So the more and more she practices connecting the limbic with the prefrontal cortex, she will start seeing, as I was telling in the beginning, the brain is responsive to intentional practice. Meaning over a period of time, her fear of standing in front of public start going away. Now, if she does not process that, meaning if she process only left side processing. So left side processing is operating only with the limbic system, which means it's the default response. It comes from our past experiences. If the past experiences are not given the pause, and if you don't do right side processing, there is a chance that your body will continue to secrete cortisol, continue to have like the downward spiral. Not many options that are coming out, but if if Geeta start taking the pause and connecting the limbic with the prefrontal cortex, she can do right side processing and give another response to situation. So I'll take a pause here. And any thoughts, any reflections that you would like to share?
It will take some time, Yogesh, to process this information
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
relate to it as
Yeah.
we have conversations.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem. Anybody else? Yeah. Yeah, Anshu wanted to say something. Yes, he unmuted.
Yogesh, may I say something?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. No, I feel that this is this what you presented. I think these are very, very strong fundamentals. This should be known, I believe, at school level,
Yes,
university level, school
yes,
level, and every single parent should know this.
yes, yes,
I
yes,
think this is a fundamental requirement for humanity.
yes, yes.
So I think here, if you don't do that, we miss the bus.
Completely, completely. In fact, Asoka, if we have a time, at some point, I do a role play. I become a child for all the mothers.
Yeah.
And, it is so fantastic for them to. So, as you said, I think a lot of us don't even know this simple science that, if somebody is responding in certain way, it is because of their limbic experience. So instead of getting upset with somebody that, if I were to tell Geeta that, hey, we have given you 10 opportunities to present and you're not presenting, I'll call HR and get a replacement. Now, if I really know the science, then I say, oh, Geeta is having some past experience. So as a manager, as a parent, as a leader, can I remove that limbic experience? And it will never go away. So limbic experience, our traumas never goes away. Yeah. But what we can do is we can slowly try to create new limbic system over the current limbic system. Yeah, so Asuka, completely, and I'm game for that. I've been doing a lot of this work, even for a lot of colleges, free of charge, for schools, for parents. We have been doing a lot of parenting. So more than welcome. Anytime you have an opportunity,
Yes.
absolute no commercial. Anytime you call me, I am more than welcome. Happy to share this because I have seen Asuka families dramatically change after the session, meaning the parents and the children then started kind of talking about the past experience. Why am I behaving like this? What could be the reason? And instead of we becoming judgmental about behavior, we started having conversation about the behavior. Yeah, if somebody is like this, what could be the reason behind that? And if you start changing their limbic experience, you start becoming better at the relationship and all that. Yeah. Anila, please.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sabha. Yeah. Anila?
Uh, yes, Yogesh. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
So in the case of small children, little
Yes.
children, there are few children who are very vocal, very confident, and
Yes.
there are this doesn't come from the previous experiences. And
Yes.
at the same time, there are children the same age who are shy or who are scared to go in front of people to talk to people. So how can we explain that?
Yeah. I mean, myself, and we have a good team of coaches also. So, when I was doing one coaching for, one of the, I think her age must be around 32. She was a very, very, very successful as a person, but she would always get headache, whenever there was a social function, meaning if there is a marriage in the home or if she has to go out somewhere, and, in my coaching, I generally asked her that, how many siblings do you have? And in my mind, I knew that she is the third daughter in the family. And she asked me, why are you asking this? Generally as a coach, we knowing each other, and I bang on. It was the third daughter. So what happens in the Indian context is that many a times, parents are looking for a boy or a male child, and the third daughter is like an unwanted child in some form. When the kid is in the womb, okay, and now there are enough and more research that whatever they are, is the mother is going through actually gets into their limbic even before they are born fully. Okay. So the people, and I'm not saying this case that you're talking about, that would that be a case, but I'm giving you an idea of the sensitivity of this when we look at people. So this particular case was a third daughter, which means that when she was in the womb, maybe parents would have told, or they would have, when they knew the sex of the fetus, they knew that she is actually the third daughter coming. So from her childhood, she kept hearing that, "यार हम लोग तो लड़का आना था और लड़की आ गई" type, and see the impact of this throughout her life. So now in her limbic, she is now saying, "I am an unwanted person in this world." So she's okay with people who are very close to her, but she's not okay to go in a public environment where she does not know people, because in front of them, she is unwanted. So the headache, the migraine was coming from that. The in the coaching journey, we were able to kind of reset her thinking about it, saying that the parents, and she had a very not a very great relationship with the parents, because somewhere I think she had this, that because of you I am become like this, yeah. And over the period, we changed that relationship also. So when you see child, we don't know where it is coming from, but the good part of the whole thing, Anila, is that it's all changeable. Meaning, none of this was doing a session on neuroplasticity and say that we can only learn up to a certain age is also no longer valid. It's actually up to any age, and we have got. I mean, Santa, who is there on the call here today, one of our very senior facilitator. He's a great inspiration for us, that so much at any age one could learn. So I gave a long answer, but Anil, I wanted you to understand the depth and sensitivity of that. And now you can go. And so my webinars usually would give you a lot of triggers to start going and doing your own research, figuring out, and and most importantly, whenever you see anybody, don't get upset with anybody for their behavior. It is somewhere that limbic experience that you are making them do. And if we can empathize with that limbic experience, instead of getting upset, you can actually start figuring out. Yeah, for example, in this case, now most people in the family would tell that she is arrogant, she is, she is a very senior position, does not want to mingle with people. But this is not the case. Her case was very different. So the headache is completely gone away with this. Yeah. Yeah, Vikram. Yeah, Anila, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Video because I have a low bandwidth here.
Yes, yes.
You hear me, Yogesh? Can you hear
No,
me?
I think no, I think very low, Vikram. So no problem. You can chat. You can put it on chat. No problem. So if you if you see this particular slide, you will see that emotions have a biological presence, which means that it is there. Which means that when Yogesh is telling Geeta that tomorrow there is a customer presentation, and the 3 out of 4 emotions, when they start getting triggered, they actually have a physical, which means that you can experience it on your physical body. And when Radha was telling that she is in front of people or whatever, that is the physical experience. Now, what's going to happen with this is that we are going to start, yeah. Uh, Yeah. So what's going to happen with this is that I'm just going to choose that option where you cannot unmute yourself, so that there is no background noise. So now this has got a very nice, like explanation by Antonio Damasio, that so in this case of Geeta, for example, Radha, when she was talking about it, what we need to do after this session today is that try and be more sensitive about uh, those 4 emotions, and see on your physical body where are you experiencing. The moment you experience, you can start changing by doing the right side processing and the left side processing. And this is a heat map that tells you what happens on your body. So there is like the cold experience, and then there is a hot experience. So if you see, when you are sad and you are really down, your body is really very cold, and when you're happy, your body is really very bubbling and hot. So the whole idea is to show you the picture, is to tell you that you have to become sensitivity to recognize that. So as I was doing, sad, glad, mad, scared, these are the 4 emotions that you can equate this on the screen here. Yeah. So this is the model that you can now start practicing, which we are calling it as the path model to processing your emotions and feelings. So pause to experience the emotion on the physical body. Okay. So you will, as you saw on the heat map, you can see that. Acknowledge the emotion. So the moment you acknowledge the emotion, like for example, if Geeta, experiences the emotion of, mad, that why Yogesh only tells me, why can't he tell Deepika or Gurminder or the Pooja? Why is he always telling me? The moment she's acknowledging the emotion, there is a gap that is helping her to connect with the limbic system and the prefrontal cortex, because you are breaking the default response. And T is transacting by right side processing. So, right side processing is connecting the limbic system with the prefrontal cortex and harnessing the power of handling situations better. So, that is the path model for you. And you can, like, when you listen to the recording again, you can take a screenshot of this, you can do that part. Yeah. So, as we were, going in the journey, and, I was telling you in the beginning that, our mind never stops creating, automatic stories, which means stories that are not real actually, So now, Geeta is like got over the presentation issue. She is now a good presenter. And this is now the 8th year that we are working together at Crossover, and every Monday she gives me the report on time. There is no Monday that she does not give it by 11 o'clock. So 8 years, not even one Monday she missed out. On one of the Monday, it is 12 o'clock, and in our structure, so I am like the manager in the company. Santa is the CEO, okay, and Geeta. So our reporting is like I report to Santa and Geeta reports to me. So every Monday by 11 for 8 years, absolute, not in a single miss. On one Monday, it is 12 o'clock and I don't get the report. So I go to her desk and tell Geeta, hey, report kidhar hai? And I just go back to my cabin without saying anything. If you were in Geeta's place, how would you experience my behavior like this? After 8 years of giving, absolute, disciplined report, how, what would you experience as a, as if you're in Geeta's place? What are some of the thoughts that will come to your mind? Okay, Lina. Lina is saying cold, I think, because he didn't even ask. Yeah, rather insensitive. What happened? Very nice, Lina. So Lina and Brian really knows Geeta very well. Yeah. So what you said is perfect. I think that goes in our mind. And every day, we go for lunch together at the cafeteria. So I don't know if you've experienced, but when you're not in good mood, then you don't really want to sometimes eat well, you don't feel like eating well. So I see her at the cafeteria and then she's not eating really well. And in my mind, the automatic story starts that first she didn't give the report and now she's not eating well. Kuch to panga hai, because she just got married some time back. So I thought maybe some in-law issue or whatever, which is very prevalent in our culture. So, but that's my automatic story. I don't know if that was a reality. So at 3 o'clock, we have to go and meet Lokesh, who is our new prospective customer. So me and Lokesh are in the car from, from Attapur to Lokesh's office in High Tech City. Now, in the car, usually Geeta is very talkative. But today she's like Pushpak movie. You know Pushpak movie? It is like silent movie. She does not say anything. Okay, so we are in the car and she's not saying anything. And again, my automatic story continues that why is Geeta not saying anything? And we go to location, we are in the office of location, we are doing the presentation. Now, in Geeta's mind, the same thing is happening, how Yogesh treated and all that. So she misses out on talking about a very important slide in front of Lokesh. Okay. And when I go back, I almost gave her that, the peace of mind in English we say, pura, I, give my managerial authority and I give her a big lecture about all that, that why are you not paying attention? And then when we are going back, the car is even more silent than what it was when we went to location office, because Geeta got further butchered. So we returned to our office, and every day evening while she leaves, right, she would always say bye to me. But today, no bye. I can see her in the parking lot that she is pulling out the car without saying bye to me. So on the way back, she called Lena and also Brian. Yeah, so she called Lena and Brian that today, Yogesh treated me like this. And you know what Lena says to her? I told you, na, this manager like this only. So you do one thing. Next Monday, na, the report to him. But don't even apply for sick leave. Apply exactly at 10 o'clock. Let him face the music with Santa. Because Santa looks to be nice in general, but when he's upset, you know what Santa can be. So, don't give the report. So, but she says, okay, it's okay. She keeps the phone down. Next day morning, when she, comes to office, usually, she will come and wish me and all that. But today she just says good morning and that's it. And she says to me at 12 that, Yogesh, I have some work. So why don't you go ahead for lunch at 1? I'll go a little late. So by Thursday, our lunch timings have changed, meaning she goes at 2 o'clock, I go at 1 o'clock. And our work is very limited to whatever is been told, no discussion, no innovation, no conversation. On Friday, on my way to office, I see her at the Dale Carnegie office in Hyderabad, like at the entrance of the office. So I almost conclude that she's applying at Dale Carnegie. So I come and tell our HR that, by Monday I need to start the transition. I want a replacement in next 1 month, and Geeta is given some other role and I get a replacement. In the exit interview, Geeta says that I think we should check his best people manager award of Premji and all that. And Hyderabad mein people give a lot of duplicate certificates. So I don't think that that is real, because he can't handle me. One small issue of not presenting, he shouted at me. I gave the report for 8 years, no value for my effort, discipline. In my exit interview, I say that I think we should have asked her to change long time back. She goes and applies in Dale Carnegie, does not give the report on time, doesn't present well. So all this has happened. Now let's flash back to what had happened and apply the path model that we just learned to where it happened, okay, and see how our brain actually works. So when on that Monday, when Yogesh went and spoke to Geeta that where is the report, and if she were to apply the right side processing, or she would look at the 3 out of the 4 emotions, that she's very mad about this, and if she were to apply right side processing and connect with prefrontal cortex, what could she do? Yeah, I will let you guys unmute. Yeah, I just made you can unmute yourself and share. Yeah. Okay, she would have managed her angle very nice. Yeah. Perfect, Aditi. She could have managed her angle very nice. Lovely. Yeah, or she could have gone, Geeta, and yeah, she will be calm, perhaps. Yeah, very nice, Anshu, definitely. So she could go in Yogesh's cabin and say, hey, Yogesh, I usually give you the report on time, but I was too tied up with something. So hope it is okay. I got delayed. Yogesh might say that, oh, that report, I don't even look at it. Santa came and asked me, that's why I came to you. Otherwise, we would have closed it. When we were having lunch, and if Yogesh was to do right side processing with Geeta, what could Yogesh do? Hey, Geeta, kya baat hai? You're not having lunch properly. Is there anything issue going on? She will say at 11, 12 o'clock, you did not even bother to ask me. Oh, that. Because of Santa asked me that you. Otherwise, I don't even look at the report. To ask each other. Geeta called Lina. If Lina were to apply right side processing, what could she do? She could tell Yogesh that Yeah, I know. I think, Paco, I am in a hotel in Kochi, so not in my regular office. So there is an internet issue in between. But I hope most of it you are able to hear. Yeah. So perfect. So if Lina was to apply right side processing to Geeta, she can say, "Arey, Geeta is a Marwadi guy. He likes rasgulla and also. Why don't you take some Bikaner wala ka mithai tomorrow morning and ask him, yeah, why did you behave like this?" You might get the result, because I don't think Premji will give some like that award. I think you better go and talk to him. When I saw him, at the Dale Carnegie office on that Friday, when she came to office, I could ask Geeta, "Hey, Geeta, क्या बात है? ठीक है." You will say, "No, Baba. My cousin was very afraid like Radha. So I said, let me drop her and come." So what happens is that after that day, matlab, present is real. She went to Dale Carnegie is real. But everything that is real is on something which is from today. Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, I can see a lot of people saying that voices. I can imagine. I don't know today. I'm trying my best to be in this place, but hope, I think. So, so imagine if we were to start building a practice, where you don't let your automatic story continue for too long. So from today onwards, whenever you have a difference of opinion with anybody, you should go and talk to the person as soon as possible. Because, or as I was saying, right, during that period of, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, imagine what is happening to her when she goes home. See the kind of emotion that she's carrying. What will happen to the children? And imagine if her husband also had a similar problem like Yogesh. See the amount of cortisol that is creating in the home. So what will happen to another Geeta, who 8-year-old, seeing the two family members behaving like this? So बोलेगी यार शादी करना बेकार है, कोई फायदा नहीं. Who is responsible for this? All of us, including Lina. In our society, the left side processing is so prevalent. So imagine what will happen to Geeta when she goes to a new job. वो क्या करेगी? बस ज्यादा काम करने का नहीं. मैंने 8 साल काम किया, ये नतीजा मिला मुझे. If she stays in the company, she will do the same thing. And then the leader say कि यार हमारा कंपनी में इनोवेशन नहीं होता है. कैसे होएगा? Because people are just not like that story is just again in the limbic system. तो अगर अभी भी कोई नाराज है तो पूछ लो उनसे, यार क्या बात है, बताओ. Yeah. Now, if you continue like this with the cortisol, there is lot of, तो होता है जब there is a problem, that you have to deal with a accident or something that is falling on you. और एक होता है अपना जो बॉडी के पार्ट को चलाता है, मतलब digestion, heartbeat. Yeah, imagine those days the other system is working for Geeta because she is constantly upset inside. तो अगर आपका सिस्टम जो खाली एक्सीडेंट के टाइम पे चालू होना चाहिए, if it is running all 24 hours, what will happen to your health? So this EI is not just a topic that is nice to have. As Asoka was saying, it is so critical that lot of our diseases come because of our thinking. Yeah. So from now on, I want a promise from all of you कि किसी का भी, जैसे विनिशा को मैंने बोला कि वो IF का प्रोसेस करना है और 4 दिन हो गया और मैंने कॉल किया, फोन उठाना बंद कर दी. तो लेफ्ट साइड प्रोसेसिंग में IF वाले पता नहीं यार करेंगे नहीं करेंगे, बातें बड़ी बड़ी करते. राइट साइड इज, अरे यार विनिशा तो एक बड़ी सेलिब्रिटी है, किताबें लिखती है, बिजी हो गए अगले वक्त बात कर लेंगे. रियलिटी आई डोंट नो, बट मुझे क्या लगता है विनिशा को सेलिब्रिटी बनाने में, बिकॉज जब मैं मिलूंगा ना उनसे तो मेरा हाव भाव विल बी सेलिब्रिटी वाला, और नहीं रहेगा तो मेरा हाव भाव विल बी यार 8 दिन हो गए अभी तक तो आपने कुछ किया ही नहीं. सी द इमोशन. तो आप कभी कभी किसी के घर जाते हो एंड यू start seeing the people whom and आपको लगता है कि यार वो लोग ना बोल रहे हैं सर आ जाओ बट अंदर से कहीं गड़बड़ है, मतलब यू रीच एट ए लॉन्ग टाइम। क्यों होता है? उसको हम बोलते हैं मिरर न्यूरॉन। मतलब हमारा जो सोचते हैं ना वो पकड़ लेता है सामने वाला, उसको एग्जैक्टली नहीं पता बट कुछ तो गड़बड़ है। एंड वुमेन्स हैव गॉट मच स्पेशल पावर फॉर दिस। वुमन लोग तो पहला पकड़ लेते ये बंदा ठीक है नहीं है टाइप्स, सो यू आर नेचुरल एट दैट। सो आई नो नंदिनी यू हैड raised your hand, but I really am rushing on time. I just want to quickly cover one more piece of the whole thing, and then I can maybe, we are at 5:23 and I know there is this one very important piece that I want to cover, which is I think this is amazing, the Man's Search for Meaning करके किताब है, आप पढ़िएगा विक्टर फ्रैंकल का, which is saying between stimulus and response there is a space, and in that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and freedom। मतलब जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना, कई बार मेरे को कोई पूछते हैं कि सर ये कितने बार हम लोग लाइक पीपल आस्क मी दैट सर कितने बार हम लोग उसको माफ करेंगे, तो देयर इज a हिंदी मुहावरा, कुछ तो मजबूरियां रही होंगी नहीं तो वो बेवफा नहीं होते। सो यू शुड यूज दिस मुहावरा वेरी नाइसली टू सी फॉर योरसेल्फ। दिस इज द लास्ट पार्ट ऑफ द ब्रेन जो मैं बता रहा था कि दिस इज यू हैव लर्नड लिम्बिक सिस्टम, यू हैव लर्नड प्रीफ्रंटल कॉर्टेक्स, दिस इज द लास्ट पार्ट ऑफ द ब्रेन कॉल्ड एमिगडाला। Okay, now this part of the brain is to scan the threat. So as I was saying, so just take a look at the picture, I'll unshare the screen. So assuming that your hotel में suddenly cracking noise आ रहा है, ठीक है, which means the hotel is going to have an earthquake or whatever, तो ये जो एमिगडाला है ना ये एक्टिवेट हो जाता है, और ये क्या करता है, जो हमारे ब्रेन में जो ब्लड है ना उसको अपने हाथों में, इट मूव्स द ब्लड फ्रॉम आवर ब्रेन टू द हैंड्स or to the feet so that I can fight or I can flight, which means I can run. Why does this do that? Because that time there is no rational thinking required. I will not say who is the architect, let's get on a conference call with him, whether we got the Kerala municipal permission. No, that's all later. First run. Now, this particular part also get activated when there is not a real threat. Like, so if you go to an airport and you would have seen people like banging the counter, shouting at the top of the voice. Because imagine if I were to, yesterday when I traveled and I go to the Hyderabad airport and they say that, your flight is cancelled and there is no flight, after this, my amygdala will get activated, because what will happen to the 40 participants waiting for me? But if I don't let the amygdala get activated, I can tell the staff of the airline that, hey, can you please find out if there is any other airline? I call my customer and say, hey, I am not able to start today. Can you convert this to a virtual session? Or I know Santa who is there in Bangalore, maybe can check Brian or Santa to say, can you go and deliver the program? Many options. Now this amygdala, as I was saying, also gets activated when there is a difference of view. So if Deepika is not agreeing with me, the amygdala gets activated and my blood goes into my hands and the. So have you experienced that किसी पे आप जोर से चिल्लाते हो, फिर after 2 hours you feel that यार इतना नहीं जरूरत था। अगर आप नहीं होता, if you have not experienced that, please meet me separately. I want to have that. Who is this God's gift to mankind? Ke you don't have that, but it is actually a reality. Okay, including myself. Okay, you should go and check what happens at home. So if you can train your amygdala gradually, saying that, oh, if Lokesh has this point of view, or Deepika has this point of view, maybe it is coming from their limbic experience. यार ये सोच क्यों है? आप क्या सोचते हो? So you are diverting your amygdala activation to a sense of curiosity on finding out कि ये बंदा सोच क्या रहा है, and that is so joyful, I tell you, because then what happens is you are almost like never upset with anybody. You are like never upset with your client. You are never upset with your supervisor, anybody. So the sequence of that is, when you see the last slide, when I'll close for today, that we get the emotion on the physical body, then we could either do right side processing or left side processing to manifest the emotion into a feeling. The way I process my emotion, my behavior will come, and the way I behave, my results will come. So it's a very beautiful sequence that you should follow as you go along in the journey. So I'll just unshare. I'm still at 5:27. I've got 3 more minutes to go. But I'll just pause here, and maybe Nandini, you wanted to ask something, or anybody can. It's like open floor now. You can ask whatever you like. So I'm letting you unmute yourself and free flow, people. And I hope you guys. I know थोड़ा बहुत मैंने Vande Bharat किया बीच में, but I had no choice because I had to get you guys to the station before 5:30. So, but I had covered everything that I wanted to cover. So, yeah, Nishit, yeah, whoever wants to open the, yeah.
So I just have two questions, Yogesh. Okay, one is a very basic one. What is the full
Yeah.
form of Chaska? I'm a bit curious about that. And
Yeah.
second is,
Crosso Roasted Association for Knowledge and Skills Advancement.
oh, great. Okay,
Chaska.
thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. So, secondly, it's not just a question, it's kind of an experience that, where I've seen that at times being in HR, we understand that, the other person, maybe some employee is going through a tough time. That is, could be a personal thing, could be a personal emotion, but it's affecting his professional life. And we are trying to support, we are trying to help. But at times, people don't like to open up. So that
Yeah.
is where there is a problem, but then you are kind of struggling to handle that particular situation. So what would you like to say about that?
So Nandini, I always say that, human beings really dil ka connection se pata chal jata hai. Meaning, as an HR, how much you are actually demonstrating that truly inside, and many a times HR are so tied up with their regular load, the transactional work, that many a time they just, do, maybe connecting at a very, very formal level. There is less of heart connection. So you don't need to speak much, but are they experiencing that warmth in the conversation where they feel that if I share something with them, I think truly Nandini is going to help me in this whole journey. If you can create that psychological safety, and many times HR tell me that सर इतना टाइम किधर है इतना मुश्किल रहता है. I tell them that बहुत आपको सब में करना नहीं है. Imagine the way I treated Geeta, for example. Geeta will become my ambassador to go and tell every new joinee, यार कुछ प्रॉब्लम है ना, जाके नंदिनी से बात कर, वो कर देगी. So they become your ambassador, and many of the issues they start solving for you because they said यार ये कंपनी में पूरा जीरो पॉलिटिक्स है यार, जाके बात करो, ओपन कंपनी है, बढ़िया है. So you just have to spend some time with the people truly from your inside, where you have a concern for that person, which means that you don't have any hidden agenda, you don't have anything, you're truly helping them as an HR. And I'm like really asking for a big ask right now, but मैंने ये experience किया है. मैं खुद HR में रह चुका हूँ for 7 years, so दिल का connection है, and genuinely you should feel concerned about the people, and then you will see so many innovative things happening in the organization. जो मेरे HR में मुझे बहुत कम दिखता है, no fault of theirs also, because बेचारा एक HR होता है, दुनिया भर का काम होता है, तो बट कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है, आपने वो करना ही होगा. इसलिए तो मैंने बोला नंदिनी, मेरे को तो आज मतलब हमारे जो पार्टिसिपेंट है, वी मस्ट हैव लाइक ट्रेन मोर देन 10,000 एंड सो मेनी पीपल राइट टू मी. आई ऑलवेज गिव टाइम टू एवरीबॉडी. लाइक विनीशा ने मेरे को लिखा, तुम हो सकते 2-3 दिन बाद रिप्लाई, बट करूंगा जरूर. मतलब आई वुड ऑलवेज बी अवेलेबल टू पीपल. दैट इज अ जेन्युइन concern. Like Asoka, why did he immediately say that this should be given to everybody? Because he can see the concern that I am showing for humanity. And ये तो मैंने 380 और 80 382nd बैच है. कोई इतने बैच थोड़ी कोई पैसे देता है, बट जरूरी नहीं है कि पैसे ही सब कुछ हो, तो हम लोग करना चाहिए सर. तो आप नंदिनी, यू ट्राई दिस आउट जेन्युइनली विद योरसेल्फ, एंड वी शुड सी फॉर आवरसेल्फ, एंड वी आर द बेस्ट डॉक्टर फॉर आवरसेल्फ. हमको अंदर से पता होता है कि व्हाट आर वी डूइंग, व्हाट आर वी नॉट डूइंग, सो इफ यू कैन स्पेंड दैट टाइम, एंड दिस whole science of limbic and your prefrontal is the magic, because maybe my limbic is based on what I saw my parents or my neighbors or my teacher, but that is not permanent. Dad, जैसे अगर मेरा डैड पीने वाला होता, drunkard, I could do two things. I can become a drunkard. I would never drink because I never liked the way he behaved. So it's up to us how do we process. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. Anybody
Thank
else?
you.
Yeah. Thank you. Padma, you want to add something? Yeah. I mean, we are at 5:30. Yeah. So just last, Padma, and then we can close for today.
Just had a quick question.
Yeah.
Viktor Frankl's quote saying that there's a pause between the stimulus and the response.
Yeah.
And if we exercise that, then we give a more considered response from the rational brain. Now, is it also something that can potentially become a habit and take away the spontaneity and what people perceive as vulnerability, responding to what is happening from the heart rather than a very considered response for everything. That's my
Yeah, yeah, but a very nice question. But in my experience, I mean, just getting to that is a very difficult task. So I have never seen somebody become so great that, like despite teaching people, I mean, I do same thing what most of us do. So I think please try to practice that and don't worry about the spontaneity that will be there with us.
Yogesh, that what Victor talks about,
Ah,
pause, Padma, is very, very brief,
yeah,
which decides upon when you have a knife
yeah,
in your hand, and if someone come and hurt you,
yeah,
that pause which decides whether your instinct is to stab or
yeah.
instinct is to stay away. So it does not impact spontaneity, but it helps take those decisions to take a left or a right at
Yes,
that
yes.
critical moment when you're standing on the precipice.
Very nice. Yeah. Thank you so much, Padma. I mean, everybody. So, thank you everybody for the active participation. I still see so many people on the call. So, we do this webinar because we don't do too much of, like this is our source of lead generation. तो अगर आपको अच्छा लगा आपकी कंपनी में करना है तो प्लीज राइट टू दीपिका हम लोग शेमलेसली बिजनेस मांगते हैं ऑन द वेबिनार सो वी हैव जस्ट ग्रोन with this webinar where people see us performing on the stage and they like our work and we have got a lot of leads just from the webinar. So that has been great. We love sharing this meaningful work that we are doing. And every 2 months we do this. So if you all can join the Leadership Chaska, you will keep getting the intimation. And we have got like 72 different leadership, topics that we keep doing for our clients, for yourself. So do let us know. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. Deepika is there. Anybody from Crossover, you can do that. You can visit our website. You can put a request there. So thank you so much. And I look forward to meeting you again. I know some of the people have been coming like for 3 years. And Nishit has been one of our big patrons coming. So thank you, Nishit, for coming. Lina, thank you for being my character today. I made you a villain for a moment, but thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. So I'll see you. Thank you so much. And God bless all of you. Yeah.